Okay, I'm Immaculata Casimero. I work with the South Rupunun District Council as a communications officer, and also I work with the Wapichan Women's Movement, which is the women's arm of the South Rupunun District Council. And because of the work and my involvement with the SRDC, I have also been able to do some work. I mean, as a former village counselor, I become involved in village activities, and I learned about the different issues that we have within the Wapichan territory. So ever since then, I have been doing a lot of activism. I consider myself a women's rights advocate because yes, an Indigenous rights advocate because of the work that I do within the South Rupunun District Council. What we as Wapichan people have been doing is to seek legal recognition of our territory, and of course, with keeping our forest standing and keeping our forests intact, that can contribute to the mitigation of climate change.
How important, in your opinion, would you say it is for women to be involved in these conversations on climate change, on issues related to them, but particularly Indigenous women on the issues of climate change and their land rights?
They should be involved. It's critical that they be involved in these different conversations, not only at the community level, but also at the regional, at the national, and at the international level, because we are the ones, Indigenous women are the ones who are more vulnerable. You know, when I say we are vulnerable, because we are the homemakers, we take care of our families, our children, and so on, and we have to ensure that they have food, our children go to school, and so on. So when our climate changes and we have severe flooding, severe heat waves, and so on, like what is happening right now, we have, like, the sun is very hot, you can feel it, and even though when you're in a building. So the women suffer more, especially when it comes to food security. You know, there is lack of food, and they need to be involved in these conversations.
So how would you say you can include more women, Indigenous women specifically, in these very important conversations, as you put it?
You need to include them. Oftentimes there are many activities happening within the coastal areas, you know, where you're talking about Red Plus, you have this LCDS and all these different terms that are coming in, and some of our Indigenous women are not aware of this. How do indeed, some of us do have access to internet, but if we don't have, the ones who don't have, they don't know about the LCDS unless I go to tell them. They don't know about Red Plus unless someone goes to tell them. So I think there should be more conversations for Indigenous women, not only the leaders. I know there are many women in leadership capacity as tushals, as village counselors, as regional counselors, and so on, but also to involve the grassroots people who are on the ground, you know, the woman who is a farmer, the woman who is a gardener. We can discuss these topics, especially in our own language, you know, that the language that is understood by Indigenous women. When you have technical people coming, for example, doctors, lawyers coming to speak to our people, often it's very in technical language, you know, they use terminologies that our people don't understand.
So if there's perhaps a message you can share with women generally, but Indigenous women specifically also, what would it be?
My advice to women would be to get involved in your community affairs, attend village meetings. That is the only way you can learn as a woman, you know, by attending meetings, even if it is just any ordinary meeting, it's good for women to be involved. I think that's one of the reasons how I really got involved, because I attended meetings, I learned, and that is something Indigenous women should be doing, you know, in their communities. Attend the meetings, speak up. Your voice is important.